Office of the Medical Examiner, Beatsville. Dr. Jack Hampton is speaking.
Все, я включил уже. Все включил? Да.
How can I help you?
Good evening, this is Kate Brooks. I'm not sure if you remember me. A few weeks ago, we talked about an article I'm working on. It's about your wife. I dropped by last Friday to speak to you, but you weren't working at the time. I asked the security guard to pass on a note for me. I would like us to discuss the topic of...
I thought I had made it painfully obvious for the last time. No! Please don't call me again and stop inquiring about my wife. Damn journalists. They don't let me work. God damn it. I'm not in the best frame of mind to record a lecture for my students now. I'm feeling completely broken. Where did I leave my meds this time? Okay, time to pull myself together. And get back to work. I've already taken my pill. Not looking to overdose. Not looking to overdose.
Huh?
I've already taken my pills. Not looking to overdose.
Чё?
Потому что субтитры не видно. Можно даже увеличить ее, типа, вот здесь вот как-нибудь вот так.
I need to set the camera first. But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow. This place is starting to look... Now remember, Jack, don't forget, hit the record button this time. I don't see any need to mess with the electrics. They are flaky enough as it is. Let's hope I'm not caught short this evening. Another kidnapping this month. Archives. Just as lifeless as the corpses they concern. Awful. It would be good to finally repair the coffee machine. But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow. Hopefully the new tripod is going to hold up.
Ой, бля. Почему? Бля.
Scalpel, scissors. Now, this should be fine. November 20th, 1991. Recording for Medvis. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the autopsy room. Today, you will have the dubious pleasure of for those in turn. Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife. My old but trusted centrifuge. Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy. A considerable collection. But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow. Let's start. Always wear an apron, mask, and gloves. Goggles are a must when the job is splashy. And in case of sharp accidents, it's worth having disinfectant. It's true that you won't... Now, onto the police folder. That will contain all sorts of pertinent information as to who the deceased might be, and what potentially happened to them. So, let's take a closer look, shall we? I wasn't sure it would amount to anything, but the World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up my work. The body was noticed by a station employee during the morning shift. Initially, he thought that the deceased's name is Tobias Chambers, locally known as Old Toby. Homeless and unemployed for at least a couple of years, the deceased was found on the outskirts of a parking lot at a gas station, where he offered signs of libation were found around the body. Empty bottles, traces of an inept attempt to start a fire. He worked most of his life at the local port dealing with his son. That's it. It's worth remembering the context around the scene of a death. This allows you to better interpret any traces found on the body. I shouldn't start the procedure without gloves. Poor soul. I get cases like this more than any other. It's been a while since the eyewash in this thing was changed. It's probably a health hazard now. Now it's our turn to take some pictures. If I can just... Aha! There you are. As I mentioned before, we begin with a full body photo. Let's keep it. Voila. Now we move on to the next step. Take a look at your look.
Чего?
Даже написано, что где находится.
Да, знаю.
Some wounds in the feet and signs of frostbite. Hardened hands, worn out by physical work, and frostbite? The boiler healed wound. Looks old. I'll take a closer look later.
Когда белым архив показывает, значит вот.
Я понял. Блядь.
That's something interesting. It will be necessary to check whether this injury in a moment, but scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying.
Инструменты найдите, бросьте скрыть.
Я нашел, вот они, блядь. Но их взять не могу.
Ну вот здесь тебе надо. Он же показывал. Или это...
Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife. Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife. Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife. Scalpel, scissors, syringe, magnifying glass, knife. I guess I forgot to clean the knife.
Управление. Тап. Начни.
Personal information. The deceased was unclothed. Date. Okay. As you can see, every pathop is not all. So, let rip.
Лупа, блядь. Вот нахуй.
Which spot first?
Сюда.
Не, вот.
It looks like a burn mark. No doubt painful, but it's not pertinent for this case. Here we can see frostbite on the. We can.
Назад. Смотри.
Definitely a painful.
Голова.
I can confirm the. So far, there are a lot of superficial wounds, but only one serious injury to the head. Let's go back to our notes.
Планшет, где планшет?
First, I mark the location of the injuries and make notes for each one. So,
Как убрать ваши?
Even though this type of wound, the head wound, were not in front. If Toby's body was cold for a prolonged period, the safety, as you can see, let's write. Consider this is of note. Various types of nights have been particularly. We still have one thing left from the basics. Rigor mortis. Well, we take our deceased by the hand, gradually we raise it.
А. Блядь.
Now let it go. As you can see, the hand falls loose. What's the conclusion? Death must have occurred more than 72 hours ago. The police information appears correct. Head trauma seems the most promising, so we'll start there. For this, I need an oscillating saw. The cut is made from ear to ear. After which, we remove the skin and the top of the skull. After the basic examination, we can see that the brain's cerebral gyri in both hemispheres are symmetric. Some pathologists prefer to examine organs without removing them. However, for me, it's much more convenient to examine them on a board, which we'll do now.
А чё они так хуёво, блядь? Не видишь, хуёвый мой. Видишь, размытый.
Let's start. The cadaver is placed on the make like I do. Poor soul. I can... Okay. I need pills. I need my pills.
А, блядь.
Holding a long, narrow blade knife in the dominant hand, we slowly cut the all the time.
Чё тебе так хуёво, сука? Что ж?
So far, so good. The hematoma seems to have had no effect on the brain. We can rule the fatal accident out as...
Не знаю, может реально так как жилец.
Brain is in good condition, so we have no choice but to proceed to the internal examination of the other organs. I grab a scalpel from my kit. The incision should be in the shape of a letter Y. We use a deep cut to reach all the way to the ribs and to penetrate the abdominal wall. All right, now we peel back and separate the skin.
Спать, что ли? Можешь поставить на зарядку. Будешь? Нет. Ну ладно. Добра, докинешь. Я же сказал, не докинешь.
О, бля, как красиво-то нахуй.
Now, we need to remove the ribs. We'll need the loppers for this.
Ну нет, это нормально. А где хуй?
Вот,
А где провод?
волосат.
А, пацан? А, где провод? А что сделаешь?
Quite a satisfying crunch, for some anyway. After removing the cartilage tissue, we instantly notice two things. Firstly, there is no congestion of the internal organs. This means that although the deceased was hypothermic, it didn't kill him. Secondly, the deceased smoked like a chimney. So, we should take a closer look at those lungs. We can see widespread black and tarry deposits caused by smoking cigarettes. Despite the tragic condition of... It didn't kill her, but... what was I talking about? Lungs. Yeah.
Чё, мужчей? Он заморожен, не будет. Слушайте, ты чё заморожен? Иди сюда. Я сидел в душе, а ты на лавке.
Да, блядь. Сука, блядь. Да ёп. Сука. Бля. Ёп. И нахуй. Бля.
The syringe. Now's a good time to collect some samples. Specifically, 5 milliliters from the left ventricle should do it. Now from the bladder, we draw about 10 milliliters of fluid. Vitreous humor analysis is very useful in indicating long-term alcohol abuse. Now we take our samples to the centrifuge. But before I do that, I need to find my notebook. My dyscalculia means that I always double-check the settings. Please excuse me while I run and fetch it. This whole thing is covered in stains. I should check this out under the microscope sometime. Let's get back to the examination. We put all of the samples into the rotor. Now, we set the appropriate time and speed.
Я ебу, что ли?
Okay, let's roll. Oh shit. The fuses again. Where were we? Oh yes. The blood alcohol concentration. Let's see what we've got here. Everything's separated as it should. Our lab is closed until tomorrow after the last, incident. However, considering that let's go further. We will now focus on the cardiovascular system, specifically the heart. We remove the organ and examine it closely. We look for dark hypoxic areas, clots, or other elements that stand out as abnormal. At first glance, there are no path. Now let's take a closer look at sizes. And as expected, the stomach has... We will do it carefully so that its contents do not spill out. We open the stomach along the greater curvature, from the heart to the pyloric end. Oh, I already feel like there's something left inside. Okay, large amount of gas. Either our deceased hadn't eaten in days, or the bulk of his stomach had already found a way out. Looks like I'll have to find the missing contents. One of the... first glance, the trachea looks normal. Same result as with the stomach. The external inspection does this. While cutting such a small organ as the trachea, to be able to cut with the very tip of the... And after it's... It's been a while since the eye wash in this thing was changed. It's probably a health hazard now. Based on the report and preliminary documentation that then the gastric contents refluxed. That's why we don't forget about the
Да и, блядь. Хуйня ебаная какая-то, блядь.
I need to set the camera first. But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow. But the word is, the lab will be open tomorrow. This place is starting to look... Now remember...